What's good, Dream Team? It's your boy Dream Manifested here with the second video of 2018. In my first video, I gave you guys a little bit of an update on what to expect in this year. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into my first structured interview of the year. So today, we're about to ride out to 4189 Snapfinger Woods Drive to check out WolfHouse Cigar Bar. You know, that's my bro, Delvin Clanton. He's been rocking with me since my freshman year in college, so we've been knowing each other for quite some time. So the main reason that I would definitely want to interview him, he's in the community, one of my best friends. He's definitely an entrepreneur, and he's a nerd in his own right. One of the things that I told you guys was that nerd does not simply mean one thing. There is a variety behind the word nerd, and you can be a nerd in whatever it is that you're knowledgeable and passionate about. So stay tuned. We about to ride out, about to get in this whip, and we about to dip. Pow, pow. What's good, Dream Team? We back, and we finally made it to the shop. So we about to come on out of here. We about to get right into it. Gonna head to the WolfHouse Cigar Bar with my boy D Clan. You feel me? We are here. So it is again 4189 Snapfinger Woods Drive. Come on out here. If you like hookah, if you like cigar, you can BYOB. You come sit around, talk shit, and talk shop. You feel me?
Yo, what up, man? My boy.
My boy. So yeah, we about to get right into it. We here. This is the house of Wolf. We about to get right into it. We gonna go ahead and get some things ready before we start this interview off. You feel me? Alright, what's good, Dream Team? We are now inside of WolfHouse Cigar Bar with my boy Delvin Clanton, the owner and proprietor of this wonderful establishment. And
Hi, guys.
there you go. Hi, guys. So the reason why I came here, you know, being that this is Nerd's Nature, I keep telling you guys that there is no one set definition or look of the word nerd, and it's anything that you are passionate and knowledgeable about. So, without further ado, I wanted to bring it to one of my best friends who is an entrepreneur and decided to chase something that he's passionate about. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about what made you want to start something like WolfHouse?
So I originally got into cigars for motorcycles. My whole family rides for the most part, and you know, when I was old enough to buy my own bike, ended up joining the club. And a lot of the guys smoke cigars. The first time I had a cigar, I absolutely hated it. And it kind of became an acquired thing because didn't like it. He offered me another one, probably some months later down the road. And I didn't want to be rude and decline. So I was like, whatever, I'll try it. And the second time didn't go as bad, and I could kind of pick up on some of the notes of cigars. And I was like, it's kind of interesting. And I kind of, you know, watched the market of tobacco and cigar spots and things like that. So was able to kind of get a good feel for the vibe of different cigar establishments, and I wanted one of my own.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, WolfHouse is actually not your very first run-in or instance of entrepreneurship or starting a business, is it?
Absolutely not. The first was with you, actually. Oh my God. Yeah. So we were like 18 and just wanted to like throw parties and bunch of debauchery,
and it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but of course, it was pretty short-lived. So, you know, not to knock none of my promoters or entertainers or nothing like that.
Hey,
you know,
we threw
do your
one of the
thing.
livest parties freshman year, though. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, it was lit, but it's, you know, it's one of the things that kind of grew out of. And eventually, when I transferred to another college, me and some of my guys, me, Blair, Alex, and Gerald, started Salt Newspaper, and that blew up pretty big. We had apparel and all types of different things.
Apparel was freshman.
Yeah, man. I mean, we sold apparel everywhere, and kind of something that, as we grew older, all of our life goals and things changed. So, you know, they started their own businesses, and I've landed into mine.
That's what's up.
Hopefully, it won't be my last either. So,
well, shoot. Hopefully, we might be able to revitalize something within Salt in the future.
yeah, man.
That'll be dope. Now, so we talked about a little bit of how you got into cigars, but what is your purpose? Like, what is your vision for WolfHouse?
So, of course, I don't want this to be my first and only location. I want to hold multiple locations. But it was important to me. So, based on cigar culture, like, you know, everybody come in, talk. You know, you meet complete strangers and have a like excellent conversation with them, and you always give and take something away from the conversation. And I really wanted one of those establishments to be in our community. When I say our community, I mean, you know, African American community, because there's not many meeting spaces like that. And like, you know, just a clean establishment where you can come relax. You're not worried about, you know, about being secure. So
right, exactly.
Just kind of wanted a, you know, a good establishment in our community that people can support and enjoy.
I feel it. And that's definitely a great thing. One of the things that I love about WolfHouse is that, and I tell it to everybody, it's a place where you can talk shit or talk shop. So as you'll see later, and some of the cuts are probably what you saw previous to the interview, there are plenty of couches, plenty of spaces where you can have, you know, just a little group. If you want to be to yourself, you can speak, have your own little conversations going on. If you want to talk about business, if you want to just talk about your day, you can do that. But one of the things that you pride WolfHouse on being is that it turns into a family real quick and easy when you walk in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's funny because a lot of people come in complete strangers and they actually leave with either connections or friends that they didn't have before. So it's always great to know that something that you created is like the meeting space of a lot of those strategic partnerships.
Okay. Now, since I met you in freshman year,
actually, you broke into my dorm room.
So as I met you in freshman year, people, just ignore what he said.
He was trying to see if his key worked in multiple dorm rooms, and I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and I hear my lock rattling. Whew, my door, and he's just standing there. And then he starts speaking like SAT words. And I'm looking at him like,
had to get him off the trail. Had to get him off the trail.
I was like, he is too damn smart to be trying to break in dorm rooms. He's like, I'm not breaking in. I was just trying to, I don't know, say a random SAT word.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
What the hell is wrong with him? And then it was like, all right, whatever. He played football too, so I guess he cool.
Yeah, we were football teammates. That's how the fraternal brothership started. Now, since I met you way back then, you ain't gonna never get rid of me either. You ain't gonna never get rid of me. Now, when I met you, did you always have a desire to have your own business? Or when you were, or even to that point, from middle school to high school, had you thought about things like, as far as stepping out there and putting yourself out there to do something like this? What was your, like, what was the supporting, or whether you had support, whether you didn't? What was kind of the reaction around you?
So, you know, to be honest, man, like, it's always something. I think everybody flirts with like having their own business, but like and growing up for me anyway, I can't speak for a lot. Well, I can't speak for a lot of kids. They have like great ideas, but they look at themselves and look at the situation, or kind of like where they live and how they grew up, and they don't feel like having their own business is attainable. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And to be honest, like, you know,
it's very easy to follow.
There's a lot of, you know, after meeting, you know, your parents and meeting your family, you know, things like that, that kind of motivated me, seeing, you know, black people that have achieved a certain level or have, you know, done many things, and it, you know, that inspired me. So that's one of those things where, like I said, like, you know, growing up, it was like, you know, I flirted with like having my own business, but I didn't think it was attainable. Like, I can't do that. Like, you know, the people that own businesses, they either come from this or they have this or they, you know, whatever. So, and this is why I wanted to get an education. I'm actually still in education because I wanted to inspire younger kids, or, you know, the next generation coming up, that there's a lot of things that they can attain or they can achieve. You know what I mean? So after, I don't want to say after becoming an adult, but in my adulthood, you know, gaining that confidence and just researching and reading and, you know, obtaining a lot of knowledge is where I kind of gained my confidence to pursue business.
Nice. And one thing that you also mentioned to me personally that you want WolfHouse to be, you want WolfHouse to be able to foster creativity and foster entrepreneurship in and of itself.
Absolutely. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, you as my brother, you know what I'm saying, your business, your viewers, and the beautiful people that's watching now are always welcome here, because I feel like you always need that meeting space to make those things happen. So,
and that's real. And to that effect, since WolfHouse has opened up its door, you know, I've gotten a chance to see a lot of creatives walk in and out of here. A lot of people who may have just come in for, you know, just a night they came off of work. They just needed a chance to chill, smoke either a cigar or the hookah or whatever have you, and just relax. And they end up coming in and making a relationship with somebody who has a similar goal or mindset as them.
Absolutely.
So definitely, I think that, and I see that the market that you developed, the space, the location, the setting, everything, like your goal and mission statement, I see that happen almost every time I come in here.
Absolutely, and you know, and I'm happy that we have become that space.
Certainly. So, one other thing. So, I mean, this is Nerd's Nature, and so we'd be remiss if we left out the nerdy questions. So, my question, one of the things I want to do with these interviews is to shed light, of course, on the word nerd and the definition of the word nerd.
Okay.
I want to remove the negative connotation behind the word nerd so that people can understand that they can be confident in the passions that they have and to chase that as early as possible.
Okay.
For you, maybe, and we can talk about, because maybe your definition has changed. In the beginning, what was your definition of the word nerd? What did you attribute to the word nerd?
It was almost like an insult, kind of like no, I'm not a nerd. Like, you know, I don't know. It was always kind of a shallow interpretation of what a nerd were, what a nerd was. So, I mean, for, you know, lack of better words, I guess a nerd is like somebody that's lame, don't have their stuff. Well, they probably have their stuff together, but no social presence. You know, all of those negative things. So, yeah, I think that sums up my former definition of nerd.
So back then, if you would have been called a nerd, you'd be like, nah, bro.
No, we gonna get the fisticuffs.
We gonna get the fist
real fast.
And for y'all don't know, the fisticuffs is like, you know, but yeah.
You know, we taught Jamel how to fight, by the way.
And I took it to the next level. Gold medal in jiu-jitsu. Anywho, it's back to what we're talking about. So this is like,
God damn.
The fuck is this? We do apologize for that brief interruption. Of course, you know how it goes. ACC 300 runs a little hot, so we had to wait for it to cool off. And in the meantime,
I've been drinking.
Drank my drink. So we were speaking about it. We had transitioned now to the questions more relevant to the word nerd, and we talked about how in middle school and high school and your secondary schooling lifestyle or lifetime, the word nerd is like a death sentence to your ego. And I say this quite often, but as he said, you know, back in the day, when he was younger, being called a nerd was something that made him want to fight. And the whole purpose of this is to make sure that you know, whether you're in elementary through 12th grade, that being called a nerd, you should wear that as a symbol of pride, because that means that you are somebody who is very knowledgeable in something and very passionate about something. So continue to rock with that. Now that you have grown and matured,
right,
what would you tell yourself back then. So what would you tell yourself now? What have you come to know and understand of the word nerd?
It's funny now, man, because, and this is probably something I haven't told nobody. So my senior year, I did a scrapbook. I thought about this randomly when I was driving down the car, which unfortunately I lost when I moved. You know, you move and stuff kind of get whatever. Damn. I wrote myself a note as a senior in high school saying that my biggest enemy was me, and basically nothing I faced ever defeated me. I've always defeated myself before I faced that enemy. Mm-hmm. So I would tell that young guy to just do you. I mean, as simple as that sounds. It's funny, a coach actually told me that one time. He said man, if you do your own thing, you'll be fine. But I think the problem is, like, a lot of kids don't even know themselves.
For sure.
So in that journey of knowing yourself, you don't even know what you're capable of. So in being a nerd, if that's who you are, embrace it, because the same people that's picking on you today, I guarantee you they'll call you tomorrow trying to link up on any project that you have. So embrace it and do your thing.
Exactly. So moral of the story is, whatever it is that you're passionate about, whether it be gaming, cigars, whether you really like food, whatever it is, if you love it, get as knowledgeable as possible about it, pursue that passion, and be happy with yourself. It's great to be you. It's cool to be you.
Absolutely.
All right. And so that's going to wrap it up for today. So this your boy Dream Manifested and
Delvin Arnell.
And we signing out. Peace.